Freedom's greetings, Helldivers. Erwin here to cover all the latest news in Helldivers 2. As many of you know, a big announcement was planned for this morning, and depending on who you ask, it was delivered upon. As on the 26th of August, Helldivers 2 is now planned to finally come to Xbox. Something very few divers believed would ever happen, including myself, due to the obvious sibling rivalry between Microsoft and Helldivers' sugar mama, Sony, as they tend to not like sharing their toys with one another when it comes to video game IPs. Speculation has also been made recently that a Halo crossover was in the works, and while that was extremely unlikely previous to this announcement, it's now looking much more plausible than before, with Sony and Microsoft clearly making some agreements when it comes to the future of Helldivers 2. Couple this with the region lock on 130 countries being finally ended when it comes to the sales and distribution of Helldivers 2 on Steam last month, and it's looking like Arrowhead and Sony have certainly learned the value of freedom over PSN account data. To celebrate freedom and liberty for all, the Review Bomb Cape was also released to all users last month, celebrating the days the community took action and made their voices heard in an effort to overturn the region lockout decision that threatened to kill the game entirely last year. This marks a bright future for Helldivers 2's development and continued support. While the player population will never return to its legendary launch numbers, as that hype has simply run its course, these moves have ensured a healthy stream of new players to pad out the year alongside the spikes in activity that naturally come with their bi monthly content updates. Due to the influx of new players bound to be coming to the Warfront for the first time, be on the watch for a string of new player friendly mechanical guides, as well as a weapon and warbond tier list rolling out on the channel alongside the Xbox release time. The warbond tier list, especially being of more importance than ever, due to the shift in how the deluxe edition of the game has been marketed. Now, instead of granting you access to the Steel Veterans Warbond, giving a token that can be redeemed to activate any warbond you choose, meaning it's now more important than ever our Helldivers have an informed opinion to base this decision on right out of the gate, also known as democratic detonation, because you should just buy democratic detonation as your first warbond. You just should. It's the best. To go alongside with this recruitment drive of new Helldivers, we have a lore friendly new major order fitting of the recent announcements. As many of you know, during the invasion of Super Earth, Mars and the training facility we all originally joined the fight on was completely glassed, forcing the temporary relocation of the facility. In the new major order, we are now fighting to construct a new state of the art Helldivers training facility, which sounds like a very interesting narrative move for us. And oh god, it's just collecting 50 million common samples from terminated planets. Never mind. Well, can't have it all, I suppose. Upon completion of the new major order, we can speculate the introduction of a new, possibly more thorough introduction to the game via tutorial to be introduced, as I still strongly believe players should not need to watch YouTube videos, read the wiki, and read patch notes just to know what core fundamental combat stats like durable damage are. If you are a new player to Helldivers 2 and are looking for somewhere to learn the fundamentals and really get the most out of jolly cooperation beyond the quick play button, feel free to hop into our community Discord, the Ghost Divers, where some of the best and brightest minds come together to form one of the top 3 in size communities for Helldivers 2 at large, with links to all the necessary information and strategies anyone can use to become the Helldiver they were born to be. Kai's Commandos, arguably the largest of all Helldivers communities, also being a great place to find new friends for very team play oriented gameplay and general hijinks. The server is owned by a good friend of mine, Commissar Kai, who makes well edited, entertaining guides and videos based around Helldivers 2 as well, who I strongly suggest checking out if you haven't yet. In an effort to do some good in the world as well, Arrowhead teamed up with the Freedom Alliance Helldivers 2 community to raise a whopping $120,000 through their auction of signed Helldivers 2 based items for the Save the Children charity late last month. This auction was an extremely wholesome retreat from the usual scandals and controversies that plague the gaming world, raising 27 times the original goal of the fundraiser. Big props to the Freedom Alliance and to the Arrowhead dev team for organizing this event. and a salute from me to you if you participated in this heartwarming moment. Looking past these recent developments and onto what comes next for Helldivers 2, we have reason to believe several other new enemies are still in development for the Illuminate faction and will be rolling out hopefully within the next few months alongside yet another warbond. Now, will it finally be the community's long requested stealth based warbond? Well, unfortunately, almost certainly not. As Intel suggests, the development behind our warbonds is having a very difficult time figuring out how to not make a stealth based warbond too niche so that only my community will use it, and also not overpowered due to not drawing enough enemy attention. I personally got plenty of ideas on how this could be implemented, but let's hear it from you on how you feel a stealth warbond could be added into the game without breaking it. Or just let me know what kind of warbond you're hoping to see in the comments down below. In other in game news, some of you may have noticed that I didn't actually cover the release of the new Jet Brigade units for the Automatons, that being the Jet Hulk and Jet Devastators. This was intentional, as I would struggle to talk about this for more than a minute, let alone an entire video. Just like other jetpack enemies, the jump packs are lethal weak points that can be exploited for explosive results. The Hulks being even weaker than standard ones durability wise from the front, given that these jump packs are only class 3 armor, making them easily destroyed by the majority of solid automaton weaponry with ease. As far as dealing with their increased mobility, not much has changed there either, as our jump packs were already a great pick against the sub faction, and it's really just doubled down on. That is, in all honesty, about all I could say about these guys. Not a very interesting sub faction, in my opinion, but with jetpacks, just feels a tad bit uninspired compared to the incendiary core or the predator bugs. In other news outside the game itself, Fluid Script Studios has shared with us a new teaser for episode 2 of their Helldivers 2 animated series, The Forever War.
Cadet, this one's yours. Me and the sergeant will provide cover and fire. Take this. Aim for the head. When that doesn't work, use this.
Captain, perhaps it's best we move undetected. We're not equipped for this.
We have reinforcements on standby, Sergeant.
Which we're running low on.
We still have a mission to complete, Sergeant.
Sir, we have civilians to extract. We're running low on time. It seems like an unnecessary risk given our mission.
Our mission is freedom, Sergeant, and the eradication of anything that stands in our way. Hooah!
This new episode will be releasing to their YouTube channel on July 11th. The series itself can best, in my opinion, be described as a red versus blue style comedy with more meta elements set in the Helldivers 2 universe and quick play lobbies. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to tune in on the 11th. If you wish to support this small studio's animations, you can do so by picking up Helldivers 2 inspired merch from their store, linked in the comments below. You can also use code ERVIN20 at checkout to save 20% on your order. All proceeds will go to ensuring the continued development of future episodes of the animated series. That about does it for my coverage of the latest news in Helldivers 2. If you enjoyed the style of video, be sure to leave a like so I know there's continued interest in my coverage of the game at large. Thank you for watching till the end, and thank you to my coffee supporters who help keep the channel going. I'll see you next time.